Hello traders, this is Day Trader Matt with businesswithtrading.com doing an E-mini trading room recap for the 5th of September, Friday. Hope everybody had an awesome Friday. NFP Friday, they never disappoint. Always something interesting happening. Today we had 4 trades and ended up with 14.5 points. Very awesome day today. And the first basically 15 minutes were our best trades. We went long shortly off the open. Market came up. As it rolled over, we got short. We were able to hold that, and then we got long down here. We were able to hold that, quite a bit, exiting up in this region. Market ended up chopping around a little bit, and as the market came lower, we did take a long here. Market kind of just chopped around, didn't really do much, and then stopped us out up here. Afterwards, it did come up, came back down, kind of chopped around a little bit, a little more, and then it started moving higher, which was actually pretty interesting. And I get questions all the time. How do I know that I'm growing as a trader? How do I know I'm getting better? How do I know I'm on the right track? Very good questions. And today's a good example of that. The first stage, there's a few stages into the trader's progression. You're wanting to make money at first, but you can't. Then you're a break-even trader. Then you're getting a little better. And when you're a new trader, I was once a new trader, you want to take every single setup that you see. Once you become a good trader, you don't take every setup that you see. Some setups don't look as good. Some setups look a little bit better. Some setups you want to trade a little bit smaller. Other setups you want to trade normal size. And that's pretty much how you know that you've made it as a trader. How you know you're getting better is you don't take every single setup that you see. Some of your setups don't look as good, and some of your setups you do want to trade a little bit smaller. And all of that obviously goes around your risk management, your money management, and it goes around your trading methodology. I teach all of that in my courses and when I coach students, and I have a lot of fun doing it. And for me, it's awesome to have a student, be able to talk to them, and I always learn stuff from everybody that I speak to. I think that's the mark of someone who does know how to teach the information they have, is they're able to learn something from everything. There's a lesson to take in anything. Maybe somebody is a better guitar player than me and I can learn something and learn a few licks from them or something, or someone is a faster swimmer and I can learn something from that, or everybody's good at something. Everybody has something that they're better at than other things. And that's really what you have to find as a trader. What are you better at? What are you not better at? What do you need to work on? That's the one thing that me as an educator, whenever I get a student and I'm coaching them, that's one of the things that I have to find. And it's a lot of fun for me because I'm watching somebody grow in front of me. My personal journey was very difficult. And, be able to cut down that learning curve for someone else is definitely, gives me a lot of gratification. But anyway, let's get back into what we were talking about, the trader's journey. That's what we've been talking about all week. And to be able to not take a setup is as important as taking a setup or trading smaller on a setup. And it's definitely an important topic, and it's something that's discussed much deeper into trading, and some people never get that. They just trade the same on every setup. Every setup's the same. You know, in theory, if everything was the same, but it's not. You know, everything's going to be a little bit different. Some setups are going to look a little bit better than other setups. And it is what it is. I mean, you're not going to trade the same on every setup. You know, your big Wall Street, your algorithms, you know, they're not going to trade the same every single day. They're not going to trade the same size, the same, you know, setup. They might not take because of other factors. And we have to be the same. We have to be prudent about our entries, because as retail traders, that's what we control. We control our entry. You know, once we enter the market, we're going to either get taken out at our target, or we're going to get stopped out at our stop loss target. Either or, the market's going to dictate that. All we can do is put the probabilities in our favor. Like the squirrel that runs across the street. You know, the squirrel's main objective is to get to the other side, but he would much prefer getting to the other side without getting ran over by a car, because he's running in the street. You know, and the squirrel is going to avoid a vehicle. If the squirrel runs out in front of you, you know, the squirrel's going to do what it has to do to not get ran over. You know, and like most people that are listening to this, I'm sure you've had at some point, or you know somebody who knows somebody who's had a squirrel run out in front of them while they're driving. And, you know, obviously you don't want to hit a squirrel. I don't anyway. You know, when I was younger, my dad would tell me that if I ran over an animal, the bones would puncture my tires, and I was like, well, I don't want to have to change my tires, so I'm not going to run over an animal. You know, it's good for someone just starting out driving. I don't think I would have tried to run over animals anyway, but that definitely gave me an incentive not to run over an animal. You know, nowadays, you know, I'm older, and you know, I definitely wouldn't run over an animal. It just seems dumb. Like, yeah, I'm gonna run over this animal. But anyway, for the squirrel to run out in front of your car, you know, the squirrel's not gonna try not to get hit. So the squirrel, there are certain times that the squirrel's not going to run across that street, no matter how badly he wants to get to the other side. So hopefully that kind of brings home what I was talking about and makes a little bit of sense. You know, maybe you're thinking, you know, this guy Matt's crazy. I don't know. But hopefully you got something out of what I was talking about. So you can always leave comments below the video. You can also email me if you choose to. A lot of people like to do that. That's fine too. Blah, blah, blah. Email address is support@abusinesswithtrading.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Have an awesome weekend. I'll see you back here next week in the markets. Thank you.